I started doing nails. I didn't know what I was doing, trust me.
Wow.
It was bad. but they paid, you know. And when I got to that point of desperation in my life, I knew I didn't want money to make choices for me. I didn't want money made choices for my entire childhood. And I saw what my mother had to go through, you know, money making choices for us. So I got to a point where I was like, you know what, Ma, I promise you, 2020, I lost my daughter. And
sorry to hear that.
Yeah, I lost my daughter, Leonora. See, so after I lost Leano, I that's when I made that decision to say, I never ever want money to make decisions for me. My sisters are from corporate backgrounds. Here comes Lebogang. She's like, hey guys, we're gonna be rich. I want to be an entrepreneur. And they sit there like, what? Go to school. Have a backup. And when I'm listening to podcasts and motivational, they're like, don't have a plan B. You
have
know?
that plan. That's
So,
the only one you need to have.
You understand? So I'm caught up in between. And then too, I don't know, I think it was Alexandra when him and his men went to fight and they had to win the fight against Persia. Just correct me if I'm wrong. And when they got on the island, they burned all their boats so that they could not retreat. They could not go back. So I was at that point in my life.
Great. So not only did you conquer Gauteng,
Yes.
you also overlap Korai, Limpopo.
Hey,
You're
Mama-
giving them aid of what you're doing best in
Mamalala,
Gauteng.
again, you know, they say you must go to Mahwe
Isharai.
and then get there,
Isharai.
good, and
Yes.
then bring it back
Home.
So the story remains the same. You know, 1976 youth, they were here.
Yes.
So we've adopted that energy. The 94 youth, we are also here. So we are taking,
Back home.
transferring. So they haven't heard my voice loud enough. They haven't been imprinted by me loud enough. I've not yet impacted as much as I should. I am a purpose-driven person. I believe in the universe, you know. I believe in those that came before us, and we are here to make an impact. Everyone has got a purpose, and my purpose is to lead in transformation, economic transformation. So as long as I've not touched as many lives as I should, I will still wake up every morning and do that.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
So we are pushing ecotourism. So we're looking for those ecological travelers and students who have studied ecotourism. Send us your CVs, get onto those emails, and let's get started.
Youth Month is bigger and better this year, 2025. At SETFA, we are celebrating our young entrepreneurs. What a better way to do it than aligning it with a theme for this year, which is skills for the changing world, empowering youth for a meaningful economic participation. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm not alone today. I'm here with an amazing entrepreneur, a trailblazer, a sister who's gonna blow your mind away. Piladi, it's lovely to have you here. How are you, my dear?
Tobela, South Africa, lekai.
Rona le kae?
Rona.
Rona samma. As I already indicated, we're celebrating Youth Month, and you have done an amazing things in this industry. As a young entrepreneur, how has it been? Tell us. Uthomile kae msadi?
My name is Lebogang Kgasago. My journey started just after I matriculated.
Okay.
I went to varsity, did my first year, and then like any other sad South African teenage story that is in the statistics, I fell pregnant. And unfortunately, I could not continue with my studies. So it was either a flight or fight mode, and I took the journey to fight. Just shortly after I got my daughter, I had to work on myself to become the independent woman that I am today. My mother came from a background, you know, where she was leading the household. So it was extremely difficult for her raising me as a single mom. And looking at her footsteps, you know, she really made me proud, and I didn't want to disappoint her. So I thought to myself, you know what, Piladi, because you've always been the golden girl, you're not going to drop down now. You're not going to back away. You're not going to stop. You're going to continue working on yourself. And where I got the courage was from shadowing my mother all the time. So I started a little business. My mom took my daughter, and then but I went back to varsity and I started doing nails. I didn't know what I was doing, trust me.
Wow.
It was bad. but they paid, you know. They paid, and I did Bomanala, and then I did hair. You know, I started importing waist trainers, and that's how
Wow.
my business started growing.
Wow.
And as the pressures of life kept growing, you know, my mom keeping up with my daughter, with the little money that I was doing, I'm keeping up with school. Then it became too saturated for me. You know, I couldn't do it anymore. So I had to drop out and started focusing on my business. Besides, the money was good, girl. You
That's
know,
great to hear.
you know. And so then that's how I started my entrepreneurship journey. I started by selling waist trainers. It was called Waist Trainer Parlor back in the day. It was very popular. Everybody was looking to, like, you know,
I think we still wear them now.
Yeah, you still do. You still do. But like each and every entrepreneur, you know, you try multiple businesses, and some, you know, some pass, some fail. So I failed in those multiple businesses as I was teaching myself the success of entrepreneurship. And then we went along from waist trainers. A friend of mine introduced me to a network marketing company. I can't mention it. And I did extremely well. So there I learned personal development, you know, speaking skills, and how to motivate myself and how to look after myself, and a lot more about, you know, mental clarity and living a life of intention. And shortly after that, while I was doing extremely well, you know, with the recruiting and network marketing, I sort of decided, you know, like I had an itch to say, is it possible that I can do this for myself and to be an example to other South African women and children out there, to show them that we could actually start something like this of our own. So yeah, that's how I started.
What a mouthful. What a mouthful.
You have to stop me. You have to stop me.
You know what? I just wanted you to flow because you exude such positivity, the energy, and your story is it's so captivating.
Thank you.
For young people that have never thought entrepreneurship can be a way to be self-sustainable, was it something that has always been in your mind? How did you stumble across those opportunities? I mean, you started with waist trainers.
Yeah.
Is it because you were putting the figure back?
Yeah.
Or what motivated that? And then obviously, like the scenario that people say, when you're already in the game and playing, you start exposing yourself. How do you go about doing that?
Life, you know, it's either desperation or inspiration that gets you moving from a certain point. So I was desperate to move my life from where it was. I've never always been dull. I've always dreamed in color. I always knew I was going to become this woman. It was just a matter of when. I've always known. So whenever you feel like there's something within you and you can't just shake that feeling away, you must know that it is there and it is possible for yourself. You just got to keep chasing. So I've always known from a young age, and my family's always known it. You know, I would come in and my granddad and my aunts, everybody would tell me, when are you know, when are you. So if they keep telling you, best believe that you are, you know.
So they were actually affirming, declaring that.
They affirmed this journey of mine. They affirmed this journey of mine. I've always been outspoken. You know, I've always been excited, more optimistic than anything. So I knew this journey was going to happen for me. And when I got to that point of desperation in my life, I knew I didn't want money to make choices for me. I didn't want money made choices for my entire childhood. And I saw what my mother had to go through, you know, money making choices for us. So I got to a point where I was like, you know what, Ma, I promise you, you know, and I've always loved the lifestyle, but more importantly, I've always loved being self-sustainable and money not making choices for me. I've always been one, from a young age, watching... I don't know if you remember the Real Housewives of, I can't mention, you know, brands, but, you know, international shows where it was the glitz and it was the glamour. And I think I enjoyed more of the freedom that the people had in the shows that I was watching. You wake up one morning, you're in this country, and then the next morning you wake up, you're in another country. And on top of that, they've got charity drives. You know, they're taking care of people, empowering. I've always known I was going to be that person. I just kept fighting to get it.
I love the fact that, you know what, everybody was speaking this beautiful, amazing life while you were still young.
Mm.
And it's something that we need to instill it in our children and the next
Absolutely.
sisters and brothers.
Absolutely.
So that they believe and then they materialize it into existence or they put it into existence. All right. So now that you are up and running and the money is flowing at your age, how did we get here, girl? How did we get here? Take us through step by step.
Yeah. So I actually did tourism grade 10 to grade 12.
Okay.
Right? Yeah, I'm correct. I did tourism from grade 10 to grade 12, but because as many South Africans would know, there are limited opportunities for young people in tourism to, when you're in tourism, you never are found in an entrepreneurial journey to go into the tourism space, because it is, for me, it's been dreadful but good, so a lot of opportunities to become this big leading African travel agency or to become the biggest tourism property management group. Those chances are very slim, and I've seen it with my journey. So I did not think about tourism after matric. I thought to myself, look, I don't want to go work for anybody, so I did this for the experience, I think I was running away from the difficult subjects, but I did it, And then tourism came back and found me. 2020, I lost my daughter. And
sorry to hear that.
Yeah, I lost my daughter, Leonora. See, so after I lost Leano, I that's when I made that decision to say, I never ever want money to make decisions for me again. I carried the pregnancy. There were complications at 5 months. I couldn't afford medical aid, even though I was doing kind of better in my network marketing business, but I still could not afford to keep her. But had I had, more money then, I would have been able, doctors would have been able to save her life. So, yeah, so it's, it's a South African story. So I made a decision then. I say I never want life to take away what is mine, because I was not able to sustain myself to that level, and then that's when I made a decision to cut ties with my network marketing company and work on something that could be a legacy not only for myself, but for all the young African women out there who want to, achieve their dreams, who want to really work on themselves, who want to make the dream a reality, So I started working on it. I started afresh. Look, I started afresh. I had to move out, everything. And then I moved to the Blythe in Pretoria. One of my properties, do come visit. So I started at the Blythe in Pretoria in a small apartment. It was a 1-bedroom, so I was renting it out on the weekends. And then I started marketing it on Facebook, Twitter. I had no help. It was just me and my cell phone doing this, right? And before the apartment got set up, I was sleeping on the floor. So you need to know that nothing ever you need to push for it to happen. It's not because you wake up one morning and you decide, no, I'm going to do this and it's going to work. You need to take the hardships of the dream as well and not just want to live in it, So then the apartment started paying for itself. Then we got to the second unit. Then we managed the third unit. Then we managed the other people's units until we got to 26.
Awesome.
And by the time we got to 26, and this was 2022. Sorry, 2022. So by the time we started getting to 26 and managing a lot of owners' apartments, then we acquired properties in Munyaka, in Waterfall, and it just kept on growing. And it kept on growing, and the public was like, we want more. You want more. And they just kept saying, we want more. And then that's when we opened up the travel agency, because they're like, dude, if we can get an experience by just staying with you for a weekend, what would traveling with Leonora feel like? They wanted the passion, the energy.
And you gave them all. And more.
I had to. That's why I'm saying tourism found its way back to me, because it's something I was passionate about but afraid to pursue because there were not much opportunities, in the space.
But truth be told, I think your personality also matches the field that found you, if you call it that way. Yes.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, I just want us to also look at the journey. Who was hand-holding you through it all?
Shoo! My number one support has to come from my family. Remember, they are looking into a vision that they don't understand because God gave me the vision. The universe gave me the vision. I sat down with the universe. I said, this is what I want. So I understood it more, but they had to just support me, blindfoldly, just going, and sometimes it was not easy for me or for them. Being an entrepreneur, and I'm 30 years old, by the way, turning 31 tomorrow.
In the youth month.
In the youth month, yes. So you can imagine, my mom is from a corporate background. My sisters are from corporate backgrounds. Here comes Lebogang. She's like, hey guys, we're going to be rich.
Yeah.
I want to be an entrepreneur. And they sit there like, what? Go to school. Have a backup. And when I'm listening to podcasts and motivational, they're like, don't have a plan B. You know?
Have that plan. That's
So,
the only one you need to have.
Understand?
Yeah.
You understand? So I'm caught up in between. And the two, I don't know, I think it was Alexandra when him and his men went to fight and they had to win the fight against Persia. Just correct me if I'm wrong. And when they got on the island, they burned all their boats so that they could not retreat. They could not go back. So I was at that point in my life. And I burned the boats. I burnt the boats for a plan B or plan C or plan D. I burnt it. I said, look, this is going to work. Nothing else. This is going to work. And I had my family supporting me and they're holding my hand. And, they're going blindfoldedly. So sometimes they trip and fall because they don't understand what I see. But I saw it. I saw it. And that is what was important for me. And they were there. More especially my mom and my sister Makgabo, they were there. They were there throughout the journey. And as it went, networking is very important. Any entrepreneur should know that. If you want your business to grow your network. And if you grow your network, you grow your net worth.
Yes.
So it's important that you continuously attend the events. By attending the events, I met the National Youth Development Agency, NYDA. From NYDA, they say, hey, you've graduated, move, go to CEDA. Go to CEDFA, now known as CEDFA.
Yes.
Go to CEDFA. And I met my business advisor there, and I sat down with her. I walked in, I said, look, I want this, and I want this, and I want this, and this is my vision, and this is my dream. Look at my vision board. You see, this is where we're going. And they were patient enough to, even understand my personality.
Yeah.
That's what I like about CEDFA. So they understood my personality, and they reworked my business. And my entrepreneurial journey was not perfect. There were times I could not do financial management and the business would go up and it would go down. And then sometimes I don't know how to do digital marketing and then it influences all different types. So I've experienced all. I'm not the perfect entrepreneur. It's just like any other entrepreneur going through their journey. And I've learned a lot. So thank you so much to NYDA and to CEDFA for the support that they've given me in this journey.
CEDFA came into your world of Leonora Group. What is it that was given or supported in terms of your growth? And today you can look back and say, you know what? They made it easy for me for this journey.
When CEDFA came, it was formerly known as CEDA
Yes.
at the time. And I walked into my business advisor's office and I said to her, this is my dream, please make it come true for me. And then she was like, what do you want? I said, I want a hotel. I want this. I want to be the largest franchise owner. And they sat and they listened. They listened to my dreams.
Yes.
And they first started by helping me with managing my accounts. So they managed my financials.
Okay.
Moving from my financials, it's called a business assessment. Business
Yes.
assessment. So they did the business assessment and they said to me, what are you going to buy the hotel with?
I guess by then they didn't see the vision.
No, they saw the vision, but they were like, not this year, girl, like relax. And from business assessment, then we moved on to the mentorships.
Okay.
From mentorships, we did trainings. From trainings, they took me to trade shows. They fully sponsored us the flight, accommodation, So they've really assisted us. They came into our business. They've trained some of our staff. When we started with CEDA, we were CEDA, When we started, we moved from 20 20, yeah, it was, no, it was 7 employees. Then after the trainings that I got, I began slowly, gradually to move to 23.
What a quantum leap.
Yeah. No, I'm quantum leaping.
What a
I don't know what
quantum
it is. I don't know if the sugar from Setfa or it's the water. I'm not sure what it is. But if you follow what the business advisors tell you, then it's definitely guaranteed to succeed. I think the manuals that they give us, they've also practiced them. So sometimes people will come, no, we went there, we didn't get, but did you practice what was said in the books? Did you do the trainings? Did you apply the knowledge? So from then on, we moved to 23. After 23, that's when we got the Regency Hotel in Mainland.
Thank you. Wow.
And from the Regency Hotel in Mainland, we got a staff of 26. And then now that we're now that we are adding another property to our portfolio, a 99-year lease in Limpopo. It's a lodge, 20-room lodge,
Wow.
4-star as
Wow.
well. So the staff complement from then on is now at 60. We're super excited. Now we're asking for funding. We're asking for funding, just to also assist us in training and compliance and enlarging this enterprise to be what we originally visioned it to be.
Okay. For somebody who doesn't know how to go about starting a business, what were some of the things that you really need to pay attention to? Did you do a feasibility study? Did you do research? How did you get it so right?
Luckily, I went to CEDFA offices. I'm going to say it again. They help you. They train you how to do a feasibility study.
Awesome.
They train you how to do market research. You are not on your own.
So those are important.
They are very important for any business.
Yes.
And sometimes that's what demotivates people because they're like, where am I going to start? I don't have the professionalism to do this. So that's the bridge when our CEDFA comes in to say, let us develop your business. And that's exactly what they did for me. Yes.
Great.
Thank
So
you.
not only did you conquer Gauteng,
Yes.
you also overlap Go Gae, Limpopo.
Hey,
You're
Mola-
giving them a taste of what you're doing best in
Mamalala,
Gauteng.
again, they say you must go to Mahuen
Ishagai.
and then get that
Ishagai.
town good
Yes.
and then bring it back
Home.
So the story remains the same. 1976 youth, they were here.
Yes.
So we've adopted that energy. The 94 youth, we are also here. So we are taking,
Bag home.
transferring. So yes, but I love you, my Gauteng people. I love you. I love you. The city has made me as well. So yeah, I'm grateful.
It's a jungle, but you've conquered it.
Yes.
And I'm glad that you don't stop there.
No. Yeah.
You don't live by this phase of saying the sky's the limit. For you, it's the universe. It's the galaxy.
You understand?
I'm going to ask you a very, very personal question.
Go ahead.
Have you ever had sleepless night, not knowing where you're going to get the next pack?
Bekele.
Paying money for stuff. How did you survive that?
Batung.
I think that is a nightmare for anyone who wants to start a business.
Look.
When the numbers are not numbering.
And the numbers will not number, my sister, let me tell you. And you get the emails and you get the letters and you really want to give up at that time because you're like, why did I even start this? Nikia Kai, and then when you turn back and you look, and then I've got my mom there, which is my wife, I've got my sister, she just had a son, and then it's my children, and then it's the staff. It's them, it's their families. I made promises to those people's families to say, I'm going to be here, I'm going to take care of you. And even though the numbers are not numbering, I must kakanta like my 1 rand. And you must kakanta, And I love that we're speaking about that because a lot of people shy away to speak about it.
True. They glamorize
Yes, you
entrepreneurship.
cannot glamorize entrepreneurship because it didn't get out fair. And you're sitting there and you're like, I'm a mama's baby. I will cry. I will cry, guys. I cry. Ew. I will cry. Honestly, I will cry. But you learn as you go. Better financial management, like I said in my previous answer. You learn financial management as you go, and then you get better at it, and you get better, and then you get to a level where your staff is no longer 3 at the Blight, and now we're sitting on a number of 60 for staff.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've spoken about the highs and the lows and the
Yeah.
challenges. What kept you motivated to say, you know what? No matter what, I'm going to go ahead. This will work.
Should I be honest?
Yes, please.
What's kept me motivated and what helps me to not digress is the amount of work that I still have to do for South African women.
Awesome. That's powerful. That's powerful.
Yeah. They haven't heard my voice loud enough. They haven't been imprinted by me loud enough. I've not yet impacted as much as I should. I am a purpose-driven person. I believe in the universe, I believe in those that came before us, and we are here to make an impact. Everyone has got a purpose. And my purpose is to lead in transformation, economic transformation. So as long as I've not touched as many lives as I should, I will still wake up every morning and do that.
That's amazing. That's amazing. I love that.
Thank you.
So what I want to know is, what are the future plans? How do you speak to another young person right now? There's such a high unemployment rate that this country is grappling with. You've been there.
Yes.
You saw a light and you said, you know what, I'm going to grab this, I'm going to run with it. How do you inspire somebody else?
Entrepreneurship is about being, for me, it's about being felt as if you're locked in a room and it's claustrophobic and you need to find a way to get out of it. It's fight or flight mode. You have the remaining power. I'm not going to sit here and say, come guys, we can do it. No, we can't do it. You have to make that decision to move from where you are to go to the next step. Nobody's going to do it for you. Nobody's going to come carrying you on their backs to say, here, this is easy. Here you go, you move along. You have to find the key that unlocks your door. You have to be that light for yourself. Don't wait to be validated by people to tell you whether things are possible or not. Refuse to hear the noise from your head and tell yourself that you are going to keep moving. Because time is not waiting for no one.
Yes.
And you cannot sit there and look at us here and feel sorry for yourself. I say this, it's my mantra. I say this to myself every day. Wake up and make an impact. Find a problem to solve. If you don't know how, there are places, institutions like yourself, SIDFA, the NYDA, there are creative corners, there's YouTube, there's TikTok. There's so many opportunities for you to move from where, as long as you can access this podcast, it means you're also able to step up and move from something. But anyway, that we're going to save, because we've got a mentorship incubation hub coming with your help, with your help, and it's going to be for free if SIDFA agrees.
We will definitely be honored to be part of your journey that touched so many lives. I think one takeaway from your story is resilience.
Yes.
It's always being hopeful.
Yeah.
And knowing that, you know what, you've got a greater purpose to achieve, which is beyond you. So keep it up.
Thank you.
We really, really need more young people like yourself that can help the economy of this country to grow and thrive. But knowing very well that SETFA is behind you all the way, supporting you with funding, with non-funding, with mentorship, with coaching, you name it all. We're here. So thank you so much for the time, for sharing this valuable lesson and your life journey. We wish you nothing but the best.
Thank you.
Please share your contact details so that they can come and support your business. Where do we get hold of you?
Oh, definitely. So we are the Leonora Group. We own a travel agency. It's www.leonoraholidaytravel.co.za. And then our landline for the Regency Hotel in Mainland is 012-111 9292. Yo, should I keep going?
Yes.
We have a property management company. It's called Leonora Group. So www.leonoragroup.co.za. So make sure to come and visit us at the Regency Hotel in Midland and Pretoria. We just acquired a 99-year lease. A 99-year lease in Lodge. So we are pushing ecotourism. So we're looking for those ecological travelers and students who have studied ecotourism. Send us your CVs, get onto those emails, and let's get started. Thank you.
Where do we get hold of you on social media?
Leonora Group, Leonora Holiday Travel. Yes. There are no limits except the limits that you impose to yourself. So should you decide that the sky is the limit, it will be. The universe is the limit, it will be. You know, the closing of this glass is the limit, it will be. So you decide where you stop. Anything is possible.
You heard it. Anything is possible. I believe that what we've just heard, it's an inspiration to a lot of young people out there, especially with the phase of there are no limits. You are the one who puts a limit on yourself. There's so many resources, there's so many support available for you to venture into those spaces, uncharted territories. So do it, young person. The time is now. Don't live with what could have happened. Live for the moment. Grab every opportunity. The support is there to support you, to escalate you, to elevate you, to make sure that you participate meaningfully in this economy. We are on each and every social media platform, your Facebook, your Twitter, your TikTok, we are there, on Instagram, on LinkedIn, as well as on our physical brick and mortar premises. We've got 54 branches across the country, and also the old CIFA offices. You can still be able to access our services. So, ladies and gentlemen, there's no excuse. Let's change the narrative. It's now or never. So, 1976 youth were able to do it by marching for liberation. Let's do justice to ourselves and the future generation by making sure that we change the economic situation of our country.
Economic transformation for
Amen
you.
to that. Signing off, Sharon Mohale Setfa.